Welcome back to the Tori Donald Show. I'm your host, Tori Donald, and today we have a special guest with us, Nicholas Stiles, CEO and founder of Styles by Styles. He is an up-and-coming drag queen superstar. We'll talk about that later. And he's the former assistant of Miss Mary Wilson of the Supremes. And he is a proud native of Lorraine, Ohio. Welcome, Nicholas.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about growing up in Lorraine, Ohio, and how did you manifest your dreams meeting Mary Wilson?
Well, that's a loaded question right there. We go break that one up. So okay, growing up in Lorraine, Ohio. Lorraine, Ohio is small. Lorraine, Ohio is known for two things: being the hometown of Toni Morrison and the steel mill. That's it. And when the steel mill left and Toni Morrison left, there's really much else. There ain't really much else about Lorraine, Ohio. So what I will say is, as I've gotten older, I've noticed the city going, kind of down and down and down and down. But as I gotten in my adult years, I've noticed it kept, trying to bring itself up. With different events, diversity. We do have, and it's every year we have an international festival, and all of the different ethnicities in Lorraine come together. They have little shows. That's what the Lorraine is called, the international city. It's a different ethnicities. So that's kind of what I grew up around, was different people. But the people who I would say in my daily life I have seen, don't really have not really done too much outside of their norm. So the influence I've had locally are, kind of in their niche, if that makes sense. No one has really stepped outside of the box and done something different from their norm. Or if it is, it's something that, it's local. There's no traveling abroad or anything like that. And growing up in Lorraine, me having those ideas to do such things were weird to some people, because it's well, what do you mean you want to do this? I mean, around here, that's not gonna. Okay, for example, I've always, since I was in first grade, I've always had a dream to have my own clothing line. Mm-hmm. And even before I became a Supremes fan, I've always loved sequins and sparkles and feathers and things like that. And that's what I would draw. I would draw dresses that had different embellishments on it. I remember someone telling me, "Why don't you make clothes for regular people?"
Oh no!
I mean, no, that's not really weird. Sing is one of the bigger fields here, but other than that, there's really not much else. I mean, everyone here does the same thing.
Okay, so I know that you're a big Supremes fan, and 2014 was your debut of the Supremes fan page, and I remember you posting on Facebook the BET Awards, I believe 2007, when Dianna Ross was being honored. It kind of sparked your interest and your fandom for Dianna and the Supremes.
Yeah, well, that didn't spark my interest, but it helped me to know who she was. It sparked my interest, I would say, maybe in her, in her name, I guess you could say. I had never heard of Dianna Ross. But I remember what stuck out to me the most was Erykah Badu's tribute to her. During that, I was like, oh, I like this. But I really, really didn't didn't know too much about her at that time. It wasn't until maybe about 2012, 2010, 2012, somewhere around then, I had saw the Supremes on TV. They were on the Ed Sullivan Show. PBS was selling like DVDs to help like raise money for the station, I guess. I don't know what their thing was, but they were selling DVDs at the Ed Sullivan Show. And the Supremes came on, and they had on these baby blue sequins dresses on, singing "You Can't Hurry Love." And after that, that's when I fell in love, and that's what sparked my interest in Supremes.
That is awesome. So I know that it's like, you didn't get to work with the main lead singer of the Supremes, but you got to work with the best one, which is Mary Wilson. Which is pretty cool, because people dream of being like an assistant to their favorite person that they admire from afar. And I know your connection to her, you found her number, screenshotted on Facebook, and you was like, this looks, I'm gonna just try it out and contact her, and I do have something to give to her, so I'm not just like being a crazy fan, I'm just really trying to reach out. And you had some lip gloss, because you know that she's glamorous and that's her thing. And Nicholas, you contacted her, and that's how your mentor and mentee relationship came. Right. Okay, then you did your little history. I see you. No, but that's exactly how it happened. I contacted her, asked her if she would be one of my testers, and she said yeah, and which led us to where we are today. Yes, and you are so amazing that on national TV she was like, I got this from Nicholas Stiles. Let me put it on. My lips is dry, because I like her interview. She's very bubbly and everything, and she ain't afraid to shout out people. You got a couple honorable mentions from Miss Mary Wilson over the years, which is like the bomb. I was like, wait, I'm waiting for Tina to no, I'm just playing. But what was that like working with Mary Wilson, and what advice would you have for anybody looking into being an assistant to someone of a big name? Well, what I will say about advice, if I have any advice for anyone, and I wouldn't say just being an assistant, just life period. If you have any type of dream, never let anyone deter you from your dream or discourage you. Because had I listened to what everybody else was saying about why do you like those old ladies, or they don't do anything, or I remember my mom saying, when I said I talked to her on the phone for the first time, she's like, that wasn't really her, that's somebody trying to scam you. I'm like, no, it's her. I know her voice. That was Mary Wilson. I mean, had I listened to my mom and blocked the number because it probably wasn't really her, probably would have never had the opportunity to spend the last 3 weeks of her life with her. So if I could give anyone any advice, it's always to follow your dreams and follow what your heart tells you, not what someone else tells you. Yeah, that's great. Has she gave you any good advice for when you have a big behind, you don't wear tight pants? Okay. She had to let you know that she had a big booty. What did Chloe Bailey said, booty so big but it's not nice, and Mary Wilson was like, Nicholas. Right. Booty too fat. She said, I had wore this bodysuit to her house, and she was not having it.
She was not having it. She looked me up and down the whole day. Didn't say anything to me. Just looked me up and down and just had this face of like, why on her face. I'm like, I'm like, she got something to say it. But no, she never. She said it. She said something the next day. She told me, when you have a big behind, you don't wear tight pants because that's the attention. And I was getting ready to say, honey, you must not know who I am, but left it alone. And I was like, you're right, because it isn't the attention. It isn't. It is. I got what she was saying. So, but yeah, that's one of the advice she gave me. The thing of stop living in fear about following your dreams. Mm-hmm. Had I followed my fears, I would have never went to Vegas because I was nervous. I've never moved out of Ohio. I also didn't have any money going out there. I was broke. I didn't have a job. Didn't have a car. I had my license. Didn't have my own place to stay. I was staying with my cousin who lived out there. But instead of following my heart, if I didn't follow my heart, I would have never went.
Did you make any lasting connections while you were in Vegas besides Mary, like to keep you going?
To keep me going, I wouldn't say I would to keep me going because I haven't really gotten anything from any of them, I should say. But I did meet a couple. Eric Floyd and Wanda D. Eric Floyd is Wanda D's manager, and Wanda D is a rapper. She was more so known in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, she's quoted in like rap books and stuff. She's like one of the, like, they always quote her before Lil' Kim as the one that's being like explicit.
Yes.
I saw her on an interview where she was performing and at a school, and she had these bodies. She ripped her dancers' clothes off, and they were in thongs, and she was on a Matt Lauer show. I think it was like Word on the Street or something, and that was like controversial. And she was like, "Look, these were seniors. Now, if they younger and sneaking in, that's them."
Right.
I
know exactly what performance you're talking about. I was like, honestly, I loved it. Honestly, but hey, I would have been ecstatic. I mean, like you said, she's quoted in rap history, but as an artist, as one of the first explicit artists. So to have someone, I mean, at the time she was big, to have somebody at the time who's big coming to your school, I'd have been excited.
Oh my God. Like, I would have loved going to that pep rally show my senior year and somebody ripping off clothes, because I'm like, ooh, he fine, he cute, he got oil on his body.
And what my thing with that, well, at least with that, is how come she was, like you said, quoted largely. How come the administration didn't know who she was before she got there? If there was such a problem, I didn't get that.
So seriously, how was that meeting Wanda D and her husband?
Now I haven't. I will say this: I have not met Wanda D. We spoke on the phone a few times. Mm-hmm. We spoke on the phone, but I met Eric, a friend of mine, a friend of Mary's actually, introduced me to Eric. Mm-hmm. His name is Jason Abrams. He works for Dionne Warwick's granddaughter. He's her manager. Nice. And the way me and him got in contact was Mary. One of the last things Mary asked me to do was she's like, can you find this man? Well, I didn't know who this man was to her. She's like, I need to find this man. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me his business card, and she was like, I've been trying to call him, I've tried to email him. So now I'm curious to know, who is this man that she's trying to get in contact with? So I asked her, I said, well, who is he? And she said, no, she said, no one like that. He's like, he's, you know, he's the fan who I've known since he was younger, since he was a kid. And I, you know, wanted to reconnect with him because I haven't spoken to him in a while. And she said, I had a question to ask him. I'm like, oh, okay. So I looked him up on Google, nothing came up. I tried calling the phone number, nothing, it didn't do anything. So I, something said, look him up on Facebook. So I looked him up on Facebook, and I said, is this him? And she said, yeah, how you find him so fast? I said, girl, Facebook. And she said, She said, you gotta show me how to do that. And so, I messaged him, and I was like, you know, hey, Mary's been trying to get in contact with you. I'm her assistant. And I was like, as I was typing the message up, I'm like, wait a minute, what if he doesn't believe that I'm really your assistant? She's like, well, if he doesn't believe you, just give him my phone number. I'm like, okay. She was like, you know, give him the house phone number so that everybody calls that number anyway, so give him that number. And that's how, so he messaged me back, and he was like, you know, I've been trying to get in contact with Mary for a while, thank you, you know. So they ended up speaking. He said the day before he found out she died, she sent him her last email or whatever.
Oh.
And in the email, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had said that she mentioned a question she had for him, but you know, of course it never got, you know, nothing ever came of that. So he kind of always wondered, like, you know, what was the question she had, or what did she want him to, what advice she had wanted to get from him. But that's how I met Eric Floyd. He was like, you know, well, I know a couple who lives out there wanted to be in Eric Floyd, and he was like, I'm gonna put you in contact with them. And that's what he did. And Eric took me on
experience working with Mary.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Working with her. Honestly, I will say this: working with her, and even her death. I'm not saying I'm happy that she passed away, because it's still something that bothers me to this day. I'm happy how everything happened following after her death happened, and I say that because it helped me realize I need to stop listening to what other people have said, as far as, you know, oh, don't worry about this, I'll make sure you're taken care of. Or this happened to me many times in different situations where I've listened to people say, you know, I'll make sure you're taken care of, or I got this handled, you don't have to worry about anything. And then it backfires in my face, and I don't have anything. So it was, honestly, her death was a wake-up call that I need to stop doing that. Stop relying on people who have said, stop relying on people in the future to take care of things, and start taking care of things myself.
That is awesome. That's like, cause seeing from the outside, like the highlights on social media, is like, you don't know how inspiring you are, because most people will probably stay in Lorraine, Ohio, and be like, I'll just be a virtual and a remote assistant and won't even take the leap. But you did what most people do when you watch videos on YouTube. They move out with the faith of a mustard seed, not a mustard seed, a mustard. They move out with the faith of a mustard seed, and they go out with no money. They're like, they have enough to take care of what they need to take care of, but it's not enough for them to, you know, sustain for a while. But you just did it, just like Nike said, just do it. You just did it without any money. You had a resource. You had your cousin who was willing to let you stay with him. And
I want to say this. Had it not been for him, I probably wouldn't have had the experience I had, because he had been, honestly, it kind of was just like, I'm a strong believer in things happen for a reason. And things happen the way it's supposed to happen. Prior to Mary asking me, at least a year or so before Mary asked me to come out there, he had been asking me to come out there to do drag. He was like, hey, cuz, come stay with me. Drag is real big out here in Vegas. I think you would, be really good and be successful out here doing it. He was like, my place is yours whenever you need it. He was like, I'm never really home. Cause he's a traveling chef. So he's like, I'm never really home. So my place is here whenever you need it. He was like, I'm not going to charge you anything. He's like, I want you to just get on your feet or whatever. And that was the same thing when Mary asked me to come out there. It was the same exact thing. Don't worry about anything. I got you. And even when she passed away, it was the same thing. Like, I got you. Get yourself together. So, Alex said, had it not been for him, I wouldn't have had that experience. So I would definitely want to say that.
So while there's a lot of big personalities in Vegas, I haven't been in Vegas before. I only been to the airport, and I was like, Vegas is not where I want to live, but it looks like it has potential. And mind you, I was at the airport, but they do have a big personality. The airport has slot machines in there. But while you were there, did that help spark the
airport?
Yeah, they had all that stuff, but that,
or just me, period, I should say, because for the first time in my life, I saw physically saw people doing something different than what my norm was. I saw a new location, a change of scenery. It was only for 4 months, but it was those 4 months changed. I would say it changed me mentally. It helped me realize that I don't have to be, live in fear of failing. I don't have to live in fear of Mary died, 3 weeks after I got to Vegas. So I, had no money. Turkessa and the publicist, his name is Jay Swartz, told me that since I was never officially hired as an assistant to the company, that I won't be compensated anything, and I can never say that I worked for Mary, that I knew Mary, and that I was there the day she died, or something like that. I couldn't say those things publicly. And then those were, and then if I were to try to get anything from them or use this as a story or anything like that, I'll be taken to court. So I had to figure out how I'm going to make money or how I'm going to get money. I mean, I didn't do anything illegal, but I will say how I had got money is I borrowed money from people. A lot of Supreme fans, I will say this, and a lot of Supreme fans, honestly, more than my family did, called and checked on me and said, how are you doing? Is there anything you need? There was one guy sent me about a $1,500 check. Another one every week gives me $100.
I did want to know more about Dominique Supreme, because we do see you performing on Instagram in your drag attire and performing Supreme songs, and you said that you have stage fright talking publicly, and that I need to practice on it. So what can we expect from Dominique Supreme on November 4th?
Okay, so November 4th, I'll be hosting a drag show. And in the drag show, hold on. We'll be hosting a drag show. And this will be my first drag show. My first time performing live, people, not in front of my mirror. This will be my first time on stage. And I guess say in public, honestly, in drag. I don't think I've ever been in public in drag. So I'm nervous a bit. I'm more so nervous because I don't have anything to wear.
What?
Every single dress that you ever see me pictured in is gone.
Where are you gonna go shop?
I don't know. I did buy a few things. So I bought this one dress. It's like a one shoulder dress. like a one shoulder like black silk dress.
That's cute.
I bought that. What else do I have? I don't know. I have a few other things, but you have to see. Let me see the pictures.
Stay tuned.
But I do have. I said stage fright. I do have stage fright. I am nervous, but I feel like after a few shots, I'll be all right.
Not after a few shots. We need you to be coherent.
No, I'll be fine. That's my little courage. No, but honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited. But I'm nervous because, like I said, this is my first time, and I'm a semi-perfectionist. So I like for things to be, done right.
Yeah.
So, but I can't wait for you guys to see. And this will be November 4th at the Still City Lounge in Lorraine.
Is this the first drag show ever to happen in the city?
Not in the city, but at this specific club, yes.
Oh, okay. So you're like setting it off. You're the pioneer for this specific lounge that you're gonna be at. It's gonna be like a side hustle, or like to make money besides your clothing line.
Yeah, I'm doing multiple streams of income all 2021, 2022, and on. I feel like, I have so many different talents, so many different things that I'm good at. Why not capitalize off of it? And stop, like I said, Mary said, one of her last things that she told me was stop living in fear. You can't, if you live in fear, you're never going to do what you want in life. And that's true. A lot of things that I have wanted to do, I didn't do because I was either talked out of it, or my head just said, that's not going to work. You're not going to be good at that. And I didn't do it. So I think this is the time that I should jump on it, whatever it is that I'm gonna do.
Do you have a playlist in mind for your show?
Girl,
are you grabbing dollars?
I'm gonna be grabbing dollars, but to what song? I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
You're not gonna do the new Dianna Ross song, "Thank You," like for your ending and snatch everybody dollars?
Can we edit this part out? No, off the record, I don't know that song. I know it, but I've listened to it, but I don't know the lyrics yet.
Do you have your show prepared? No?
The other performers, they have performed, they've been performing for years. I'm kind of like new. I'm new. So I don't really have anything put together yet, but I will. I just have to sit down and really once I get my attire together, I can pick the songs easily. One of the songs that have popped in my mind is Denise Williams' It's Gonna Take a Miracle. That's one song that popped in my mind. People have said, Dianna Ross songs, of course, have popped in my mind. Mary Wilson songs have popped in my mind. I think Love Hangover has came over in my head many times to do that one. So, like I said, it's just more so. It's honestly how I feel when I have all my looks together. It's just how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have a dance routine or anything for these songs?
I have 2 left feet. I can't dance.
Nicholas, take a dance class.
I got 2 weeks. I don't think I can do that.
You can.
You know, I'm gonna need you to show me how to dance, because
You can be like, if there's a cure for this, I don't
oh
know.
well. Now what I will say is when I get into the spirit, yeah, I get into the spirit. But when I
feel like the dance moves will come when they come, but
they come naturally. You know what I mean? They do. They come naturally. Now, if the music's not playing, I probably couldn't get a dance routine together. But once the music is playing, I can get all that together.
You should ask your fellow drag performers some resources of where they go to get their persona, up and running and show perfected and stuff. Because I feel like your show's gonna be great. I just think with 2 weeks that you can come up with some dance moves that you can digest.
Like I said, once the music is playing and once I'm dressed up, like for example, when I would be in my bathroom, playing dress up, it all came naturally. It just was as the music was playing and I was dressed up. It's kind of like I became another person. So yeah, so I think once I get into the mood and once I get into the of everything, then I'll be cool.
All right, so speaking of clothing, how did Styles by Styles come about?
Styles by Styles has been something I've been talking about since I was in first grade. How exactly it came about, the name came from my grandmother, Faye.
Mm-hmm.
She had said something about Styles, and it always stuck with me. I came up with one to have my own culture. This has been something that's like, you know what, I don't have my own boutique one day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that came about. With more recent times, with this early last few months, how it came about with me actually doing it was because I'm sitting here like, what else am I doing? Why not? It takes nothing to open an online boutique. I mean, without money, of course, but it takes nothing time-wise to open up an online boutique. Order the clothes. I found a bunch of clothes that I did like. Order the clothes and sell them. Now I have another stream of income coming. Like I said, that's kind of been. What I will say is my fear, more so recently, is being broke.
Mm-hmm.
Having all these different ideas and dreams and not using them. That's my fear. Letting my dreams go to waste is my fear, I should say.
Mm-hmm. So, what was your process when opening up the online store? Because many people, not even myself, I don't even know what that process is like. How do you go about picking the clothes to make them different from other online boutiques?
Well, that will be hard. Now I will say this: that part is hard because most of us all shop from the same vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have someone who is physically, mass producing your own designs, that part is hard to hand pick a vendor. But what I will say is, the website process was simple. It was figuring out what website worked for me. What I don't know, what did you call it? The creator, you know what I mean? The base of the website that I can use, like Squarespace and all that. I didn't use Squarespace, but how they are the base of the website, then I just go from there and form my own website. Figuring that out was kind of the easy part because a few boutiques that I know have used this website called Big Cartel, and they Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because of the rain, and that's all I want to make sure.
Yeah, it's raining right now.
Yeah. But no, Big Cartel is something I've seen other people use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, checkout process is easy when I learn their website to order stuff. The format is simple and nice. I like it. So I'm going to use them. And I downloaded the website, downloaded the app, and went from there. Ordering the clothes, picking the clothes was easy. Ordering them was hard because shipping from China costs so much. So that was the hard part. But I said,
we worked out the kinks now.
Oh yeah, my trunk, my room. I have clothes everywhere. I got clothes sitting right next to me, honestly. But no, once I got the money to do it,
mm-hmm.
yeah. But it's like there's more so of being. What's the word? What is the word? What is the word I want to use? Being disciplined. Disciplined mentally to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Setting a goal. That's the biggest part, is setting a goal and keeping that goal. That's the big part.
Hey, that's good. That's really good. So Halloween is coming up, and October 28th, you about to have everybody at Steel City Lounge once again, turning up with you. Let everybody know how they could get down with Nicholas Stiles.
Well, October 28th, I will be hosting a Halloween party. Me and two other people will be hosting the Halloween party. And during this Halloween party, there'll be three rappers performing. Darius Smith, Sir James, and Double R. They'll all be performing. They're all from Lorraine. And they'll be
I thought his name was Doubler when I was like Doubler. It's Double R.
You know what? I can't remember what language that was, but there is a language that actually, that's how you say W, how you just said it. But no, there will be group performers, and how you can go, you can actually offhand, I can't remember the website that I had made for the Eventbrite, but you can look it up on eventbrite.com and just put Halloween parties in Lorraine, and it should come up. It is $15 online if you buy tickets on Eventbrite. It's $20 at the door. And as well as the drag show. The drag show is $10 at the door, and if that's that. If you are coming with if you and three other friends are coming, $75 for a table to reserve a full table. $300 for VIP. VIP is you get a free bottle plus free entry, of course, and then that's 6 people in the VIP area of your choice.